Perhaps it is no secret to anyone that the Old Testament is full of amazing mysteries and riddles that may seem amazing or even wild to the average reader. And one of these stories, which raises many questions, is Lot's relationship with his two daughters. The fact remains, both girls gave birth to children from their own father. But why and for what reason? Let's try to figure it out. From the book of Genesis, we learn that God decided to wipe Sodom and Gomorrah off the face of the earth. The inhabitants of these settlements constantly indulged in carnal pleasures, violence, theft, greed and other sins. Lot and his family lived in Sodom. From the fact that the Lord granted him life, we understand that he was righteous. He did not sin and did not do those things that were accepted by that time among the Sodomites, that is, the inhabitants of the city of Sodom destroyed by God. And he was the nephew of the righteous Abraham. His family consisted of a wife and two beautiful daughters. Since Abraham begged God not to destroy the city, he decided to spare Lot and his family. Let us briefly recall this story in order to understand the subsequent events with its help. So, then two angels in the form of men came to the city of Sodom to wipe it off the surface of the earth. In Sodom, they met the righteous Lot, who showed Eastern hospitality and invited them to his house. The angels stayed for the night, but late in the evening Lot's house was surrounded by townspeople who wanted to show violence against two strangers who came to their territory. The angels struck the criminals with blindness, and told Lot about their true intention. For his attempts to protect the guests from shame, the angels grant life to Lot and his family, offering to save themselves by flight. The Holy Scriptures say that Lot was about to flee from Sodom to the city of Zoar and warned his wife, two daughters, and their suitors of the danger. The suitors did not listen and did not believe the threats. Therefore, he fled only with the women. The wife, disobeying the angel's command, turned around to watch Sodom disappear from the face of the earth under a stream of fire and brimstone from heaven. For this disobedience, she was turned into a pillar of salt. After the destruction of the sinful cities, Lot and his daughters settled in the desert. But they could not feel safe there, so they moved to a cave on the mountain of the city of Sigir. The eldest daughter, seeing that they were leading a hermit's life and that marriage was not a threat to her, persuaded the youngest to give her father wine and lie with him, in turn. In this way, she wanted to restore her father's lineage. The girls came up with the idea that the entire human race had been destroyed and only the three of them remained. Such ideas prompted them to an unusual plan to restore humanity. Here is how the Bible tells about it in the book of Genesis. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the elder went in and lay with her father, but he knew not when she lay down, or when she rose up. And it came to pass on the morrow that the elder said to the younger, Behold, I lay yesterday with my father, let us make him drink wine this night also, and you go in and lie with him, that we may raise up seed from our father. So they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger went in and lay with him, but he knew not when she lay down, or when she rose up. And both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father, and the elder bare a son, and called his name Moab. He is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ammi. He is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. In general, such relationships were rarely known even among pagans, so such an act causes strong condemnation among interpreters of the Bible. By the way, the law of Moses provided for the death penalty for this. So why did Lot's daughters decide to do such an act? Firstly, they were sure that men would neglect them, since both women came from cursed cities. And secondly, the licentiousness of the Sodomites, unfortunately, had already penetrated them too. The consequence of such sin were two nations, the Moabites and the Ammonites, who were often the subject of curses in the Bible. In this completely unrighteous story, there are several moments that give rise to many questions. The sisters allegedly do not have access to other men because they mistakenly believed that the other men were no longer alive, but why did they think so? Their husbands did not go with them because when Lot told them what God was going to do to Sodom, it sounded ridiculous, but was that how it was supposed to sound? Could he have spoken more convincingly to his sons-in-law or asked them to simply come? Why does Lot decide to leave Zoar when he has no reason to think that it will be destroyed? And why does he allow himself to get very drunk with alcohol just because his daughters pour him wine? There are no direct answers to these questions in the text, but indirect hints scattered throughout the story make us think that Lot's role in this story is not as passive as it seems at first glance. But these are just assumptions. It is also interesting that the story of Lot's incest with his daughters was extremely well known and popular in Renaissance and Baroque painting. But artists usually deviated from the original source. They depicted Lot not drunk and added scenes of kisses, hugs, and other caresses to the painting. And this biblical story served as an excellent demonstration of several aesthetic trends. On the one hand, the duality of man, that is, Lot is a righteous man, to whom angels came, and Lot is a sinner who committed incest. On the other hand, this story showed the duality of the world, that is, two different daughters of Lot, who gave birth to two different tribes.